Hello, comrades. Commissar Bro here with Superpower 2. Another one of my little how-to videos, I guess you could say, or at least not necessarily how-to, but how the Commissar actually makes the economies of third world nations work. And Namibia, I honestly I have no idea how to pronounce this, so I'm just going to call it Namibia. Is not too bad. Smaller population, obviously only 1.7 million people, with a per capita of 4,227, and it has been requested a couple of times. So I figured, hey, why not? Let me give it a shot and see what happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out. I'm going to raise my interest level to retarded levels, 24%, because I need to get rid of inflation. Inflation is way too high. And we're going to go ahead and bring down propaganda. We're going to up foreign aid. Bring down research, because we don't need... Actually, I'm going to leave a little bit, just so I can research weapons over time. We're going to bring down education. Yeah, that's terrible. Boo-hoo. I'll live with the consequences. I'm going to bring down healthcare as well. And I'm going to bring... Let's see. I could bring environment up a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, and let's max out tourism. Try to make a bunch of money off tourism. Let's see, stability, corruption, blah, blah, blah. So maybe we could up that and up those both. See if they can affect the corruption levels. Let's go ahead and kick it into high gear and see what happens. Now, this is one of those countries that you can raise taxes if you want to, but honestly, I almost wouldn't, because they're very well off as far as it is, and getting their moolah under control is not that hard. Even look at all the stuff that I already minused out, and the country's still doing pretty well as far as everything else goes. Let's see, what else can we bung down on a little bit? I could bring education down a bit more. Let's bring it down there. Healthcare, I'm definitely going to bring down. Healthcare is always one of those ones that I'm not too concerned about. Let's see, as long as my approval rate is staying over 50%, yep, it is. We're good. Okay, so let's check out our economic health. It's lowering. We've got inflation down to 6.6%, and it's going down every couple of days, which is good because we need it to be closer to about 3%. So we're off to a pretty good start right now. Let's see, how fast is our tourism rising? Not very fast at all. Let's see, we could try raising, let's see what our laws are as this particular country. Freedom demonstration is not permitted. Let's go ahead and permit that. Yes, the rest of the world likes us. Child labor is permitted. We will not permit that. And abortion, we will leave unpermitted. Just get rid of those two main ones, and bam, Europe loves us now. So, that's a good thing for us. Why is that, Commissar? Well, we'll take a look at Belgium. Belgium likes us, and we can go ahead and ask them to do economic aid. For those of you who have watched a lot of these videos, you know I have the same strategy just about every time. Establish some economic aid treaties, establish economic partnerships, and so on, do a common market, and that's pretty much my plan. I could try to raise diplomacy with other countries higher if I wanted to, but I really don't think I need to. See, look, bam. It hasn't even been 4 months, and honestly, I could have taken the timer off of Tier 4, and I probably could have done this in the same amount of time. Again, this is a lot easier country to play as than some of the harder ones. Take Democratic Republic of Congo, China. And China, the only reason China is so hard to play as is because their population is absolutely massive. And then when you take into account how massive their population is and how poor the country is in certain respects, it's a lot more difficult country to play as than a lot of these guys. But like this one, Namibia here, is going to be great in a few years when tourism has had its time to grow and really max out. And the rest of the world's going to like you, and that's one of the great things about this country is a lot of people are going to like you because you're you're poor, you don't pose a major economic threat to the rest of the world, and they're not really afraid of you, I guess you can say. And yeah, so that's plain as Namibia there. And like I said, I'm sitting here slowly raising the budget slider every so often, and we're doing great. Our inflation is below 3% now, so I'm going to lower this down to about, let's keep it at about 8% and see what happens. Hopefully it won't rise back up exponentially, which it probably will, and if it does, I'll just have to go back and make sure everything is good. Actually, inflation went down to 2.3%. We should lower that interest a bit more. I might even bring it down to basically 2.9%. That should make it curb out. If not, I'll drop it all the way down to 0 to allow for exponential economic growth. But anyway, I think this is as good place as any. This is pretty much where we need to be as Namibia. And you just sit here and fiddle around with the economy from there. This, like I said, this is not a hard country to play as. It's more of just trying to get everything down, really balancing the budget, so on and so forth. And the setup that we have here is we're good for it. We've got a 21.7% personal income tax. Inflation is down to 2.1%, and I'm even going to lower our interest level to 0.8% to be able to compensate for that. Our budget, as you can see, we've almost maxed out infrastructure, and I'm probably going to max out government next to make sure that corruption is not that big of a thing here. And we'll slowly pay off our debt, too. And like I said, if I wanted to really take this to extreme levels, I could go to the market and, I could bump up the global tax mod. I could increase production in, electricity or something, to kind of make up for that, which I'm going to go ahead and just up that by 25%, up it by another 25%, just to kind of, show for that, what you're going to basically what you would be doing. But anyway, this has been Commissar Bro. If you have any further questions on anything Superpower 2, feel free to shoot them at me. I'll answer them as quickly and efficiently as possible. Yes. This has been Namibia. And look, we're already kind of competing with our neighbors here. And I was about to say, this is a perfect country to try to conquer the rest of the world with too. So yeah, go ahead, go give them a shot, give them a try. They're one of the easier African countries to play as. Definitely not a Djibouti. Definitely not Djibouti. But anyway, I'll see you later next time, comrades.